If you'd prefer comfy sweats to Spanx, to all other plans, just say no thanks. Come snuggle up, grab a blankie, and then you'll be all ready for a girls' night in. Girls' night in.
Hi.
Hey, Mama. How's it going?
Hi, my little sunflower. I'm good, baby girl. I am good on this. You know what? We had absolutely gorgeous weather today. It was 70 degrees when I left school today.
Hey.
Absolutely fabulous. You know, got a little sneak peek of what you're dealing with in Florida.
Truly, I love the weather here so much. It is life-changing. I went to the pool on my lunch break the other day on one of my work from home days, and I was like, I love it here so much.
I'm curious, when you went to the pool, do you just have on your shorts and a t-shirt and you went to the pool, or you actually changed into your bathing suit and went down?
I went in my bathing suit because I wanted to lay out in the sun and get a tan.
Nice.
Or work on a tan. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying.
So jealous.
I love
That's
it.
That's got to be lovely. Hey, where do you have your coffee in the morning?
Well, like when I'm working, I just take it with me to work. But we typically will just chill on the couch, but if we're feeling fun, we'll have it on the porch.
So you've got a little porch area?
We do. We do. And the dogs love it. They're obsessed with it. We'll put their dog bed out there and they go and like lay in the sun. They love it so much.
Are you guys, have you had any kind of frustration with having to walk them instead of being able to let them out into a yard?
No, it really does not bother us at all. The only annoying thing is like they do bark at other dogs like pretty ferociously.
Yeah.
So there have been some neighbors that give us dirty looks and stuff, and we're just like, sorry, like I don't know what you want me to do.
Sorry.
But
sure hate it for you.
It's not a pain like I thought it would be, and honestly, I think they get more exercise than they did when we had a yard. Because we like will fully walk them. We never took them on walks when we had a yard, and so now it's like we walk them all the time.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Luann, tell us what we're doing tonight.
Tonight, y'all, what are we going to call our Valentines special? Are we going to have a fun name for it?
Oh, let's see. I don't know. You did such a...
The Sweetheart Special.
Oh, the Sweetheart
Girls'
Special.
Night and Sweetheart Special.
I love it. That is perfect. Yes, we're doing our Valentine's Girls' Night Special. And what is it on, Elena?
I almost said Nancy Myers, but that is not it. It is Nora Ephron.
We're doing Nora Ephron, you guys. So for those of you out there who are not familiar, you are familiar, you just don't know it. Mm-hmm. But if it's not ringing alarm bells with you, all we have to say is the title of one movie. Elena?
Sleepless in Seattle?
Sleepless in Seattle, or...
When Harry Met Sally.
There you go. Or You've Got Mail.
Or
she has 14 movies, my friends, that she was either involved with, most of them with writing, some with writing and directing. Only one of her movies did she only produce and didn't write or direct. But most of us know her from, or began to hear of her from When Harry Met Sally. However, her first movie was a movie I was obsessed with when it came out, and that was Silkwood. So,
oh my God.
Silkwood,
I did not remember that was her.
That is hers. Silkwood is her movie. She did not direct it. She wrote it. And for those of you out there who have not seen it, it is incredibly heavy. Brilliant performances from Cher and Meryl Streep, of course.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, honey, I don't know if you could handle it.
I know,
but
it would mess with me.
Yeah, it would mess with you. That was 1983, quickly followed by one of the movies we are going to talk about, which is Heartburn. Now, Heartburn starred Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson. And it was very heavily, not loosely, very heavily based on Nora Ephron's actual marriage. her second marriage to Carl Bernstein of Woodward and Bernstein, who broke the Nixon Watergate story. And that was their marriage. So we're going to talk about that. I don't know, Laney, have you ever seen the movie with the movie Michael with John Travolta?
Yes. No? Yes.
Where he's an angel.
I was going to say, isn't he like clairvoyant? But yes, an angel. I feel like I saw it on TV and like wasn't paying attention.
I think you're thinking of
Yes, I am.
Phenomenon, which I love that movie. But Michael was a movie that she also wrote and directed. She did Sleepless in Seattle. She did You've Got Mail. She did Julie and Julia. She also did Bewitched.
Like the new Bewitched?
Yeah, the one, it was 2000.
Nicole Kidman?
Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell, and that was in 2005. And then she did some that you guys have probably heard of that you heard were bad, like Hanging Up, which I'm just sad that you can have that great of a cast and screw that up. But
I hate when that happens, when it's like a star-studded cast and it's like such a bad movie.
you know, it's true. And she did another one that was like that with Adam Sandler and Steve Martin and Rita Wilson, and just star-studded, and it got terrible reviews. That one's called Mixed Nuts. But because we are focusing on love stories, because what did you say it was?
The Girls' Night In Sweetheart Special.
The Sweetheart Special. We're focusing on her love stories. So we will be talking about Heartburn, When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, and Julie and Julia.
So good. All amazing movies.
All right, honey. I'm going to start right off with a really hard question.
Ooh, okay.
When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, or You've Got Mail?
Oh, Lord have mercy. In my heart of hearts, I think I have to go with Sleepless in Seattle. I don't know why or how, but there's just something about it that is just the movie of all movies. Like, it just... Meg Ryan's long hair, and Tom Hanks is really young and handsome, probably his handsomest, and the houseboats, and Meg Ryan's apartment. Like, her other movies have those elements, but it just hits so perfectly in Sleepless in Seattle.
So I have so much cool trivia now about Sleepless in Seattle.
But I need you to answer that question too.
I'm going to avoid that question. Okay. All right. Wait. Okay. I'm going to say When Harry Met Sally, and I have several reasons why.
Okay.
First off, I think you and I talked, I know we did. We talked on a prior podcast about the fact that for a while there was a gap in rom-coms. And not Sleepless in Seattle, but When Harry Met Sally really brought it back. Really brought the rom-com back. And, you know, you and I had talked about maybe we were going to do a little bit of research, which of course I didn't do, into why the rom-com had kind of died off in the 70s and 80s. And I said I felt like it was because of the women's movement and that kind of went dormant for a while. So when Harry Met Sally came out, my brother Mark and I went to see it in the movie theater, and I remember us just howling, laughing, and thinking, this is the funniest thing I have seen in years and years and years. And how well done it was, and how well cast it was, and how well written it was. And it just hit on every single mark, right?
Yeah.
The costuming, the music, the locations, casting, like it all hit. It was, you know, so I have to say When Harry Met Sally.
I get that. I get it.
Now, do you want some stats?
Yes, give it to me, girl.
Okay, you guys. So, well, since we just said about When Harry Met Sally, I'll just give you, and Sleepless, I'll just compare those two. So When Harry Met Sally was 1989. The budget was $16 million. It brought in 92.8. And, you know, everything's relative, right? That was the 80s. You know, Lord only knows what that would have been these days, you know, money wise. Critics, Rotten Tomatoes critics, When Harry Met Sally, 91%. Fans, 89%. Now, this may be the first time that we've ever seen the critics come in higher than the fans.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Don't
Nora
you think
Ephron.
so?
Yeah, she deserved her flowers.
Yeah, she really did. And while we're parked on When Harry Met Sally, Lou, this is funny. So, Rob Reiner and Nora Ephron, he had pitched her a different movie, and she had passed. And while they were chit-chatting about the other movie is when they started talking about the difference between men and women. And that's how some of the best quotes in the movie are from that.
Oh, the Casablanca.
Actually, Rob Reiner and Billy Crystal were such good friends back in the day that scene, the Casablanca scene, came from the two of them. They would call each other and watch movies together and go, "What channel, please?" And they turn it to the channel. Isn't that funny?
I love that.
It's so cute. But casting, they knew. I mean, it's interesting because Billy Crystal was not their first pick. Right now I'm blanking on who their first pick was, but it was not Billy Crystal because they didn't think he was handsome enough to pull it off.
Not my king. Not Mike Wazowski himself.
You know,
My favorite Disney character.
seriously. He's so
Literally.
brilliant. And you know what, Lou, he doesn't gross me out in the kiss.
No, I think he's super handsome. The drip in that movie. Like, every time my husband watches that with me, he's like, "This is my style icon. I want to be him." And every man I've talked to is like, "Oh, Billy Crystal and When Harry Met Sally is like an icon. Like his fits are just gas. They're fire."
I don't get it. Oh, his
I
outfits.
barely get it.
I'm so
Yeah.
stupid.
That's me trying to like get in touch with my Gen Z side.
Hey, babe, even his speed walking outfit.
Okay, that does disturb me a little bit. His legs in that outfit.
They're so skinny.
His
They're
legs
so-
are so skinny.
You know what scene I think in that movie? There's so many scenes that I think are brilliant in that movie, but one of the things that I noticed this last time around watching it that I was like, that is genius film work, is when he and Bruce, golly day, I can't think of his character's name, are at the football stadium and they're having the whole conversation while they're doing the wave.
Yes. He's talking about his divorce. He's like, "Yeah, my wife left me," and they're like doing the wave.
But they're doing the wave at the same time. I'm like, come on. Or like when he sees Helen and they're on the karaoke machine.
Yeah.
Like those moments in that movie, I think are filled with such brilliance.
It's brilliant, but it's also so real. Like, especially the karaoke where she's like, "It's my voice, isn't it? You hate my voice." And then Helen's like right there.
You know, I don't know if you know this. Did you know that her sister did a lot of co-writing with her?
No, I did not know that.
Her name is Delia, and
I love the name Delia.
Do
One of the
you?
other interns in my room, her name's Delia, and I'm like, I like this name. Anyways, sorry, continue.
Are we back to having 5 kids?
No, I've decided all we can afford is 2 one day.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you never know. There were 4 daughters in her family, and both of Nora's parents were playwrights. And so they were raised in a home where mom and dad, especially their mother, said everything is copy. And so everything the girls did, they were like cringing every time that they did something wrong because they knew it was going to end up in one of their mom's plays. You ever get embarrassed about the stuff I say about you, baby?
What do you mean?
I mean, just
Where do you
imagine
say
if
it?
I wrote a play and I put us in there.
You know what? I have nothing to hide. I own my stuff. I literally truly can't think of a single thing I have to hide. So bear it all.
All right, girl. I'm going to do it someday. I'm going to write us. Anything
right.
else you'd like to say about When Harry Met Sally while we're on the topic?
I mean,
there aren't enough words for everything I could say about that movie.
If you
It's
had to
cozy,
choose a
it's
scene,
comfy.
what is it?
Oh my God. You know what? This is such a random scene and it's so insignificant, but I love when they like get the Christmas tree.
Yeah. Is it the subtle, like the, I know what you mean. It's like coupley. The
Yeah.
way that he's kind of like rolling his eyes and she's kind of bossing him around. And
Yeah, I love that montage when like and she's like helping him roll the carpet out and like they're just like clearly I mean because that's also like my story with my husband was like everyone's like you guys are in love and we were like no, but we did everything together and like we're best friends and we're in love with each other and we were just like no. So I also resonate with that.
it's so true, you guys. I'm not kidding you. These two kids, and I was like shaking my head going, when are they just going to get together? It was like watching a real life soap opera, watching you and Greg dance around being friends, but really having feelings for each other. It's super cute. You had a good meet cute. Is that what it's called?
No, I wouldn't say we had a meet cute because we've just always known each other. A meet cute is when it's like, oh, I dropped my books and then you picked them up for me, or a meet cute would be like in Sleepless in Seattle when her and I forget his name, but the guy she's with at the beginning they get each other's sandwiches.
Oh, right,
That's a meet
right.
cute.
Yes,
Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah. So when Harry met Sally. And listen, guys, we have decided that if there's any one of the Nora Ephrons that people are like, but we want you to do the whole thing. We want you to, give us all the details, give us all the background or any of the trivia and all that kind of stuff.
Full
We're
episode.
Thank you. I'm so stupid. The full episode that we would be willing to do that.
Yes, let us know. I mean, all of these movies deserve their own episode, but listen, y'all know we only can do these maybe once a month. Because we are ADHD and we are stressed.
Yeah.
So
we're doing in capsules.
I
Now,
feel like we could do a whole year of Nora Ephron.
let's go. We're going to go back in time before when Harry met Sally to Heartburn for just a minute.
Okay.
So, Elena, I want to hear about your opinions and thoughts about Heartburn because I have watched it many times over, but you have only seen it now the once. So tell us what you thought.
I did. I just watched it for the first time 2 weeks ago. I did cry quite a bit. First of all, love Meryl Streep, love Jack Nicholson, love them both, love them together. I just like felt for her. I was so heartbroken for her. Heartburn, haha. But I like it just broke my heart the whole time when she was like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And I knew what was going to happen because I've read a little bit of the book. And so I was just like, oh, this man. And then it just kind of confused me. Like, I didn't know it was Nora Ephron's story until after I watched it. And then Mom was like, you realize that's Nora Ephron's life story. And I'm like, okay, this makes so much more sense because if it was just a made up story, I would have so many questions as to why it is the way it is because I kind of like didn't get the point. Thinking of it as like if it was a made up story, I was like, why was it written like this? What was that ending?
Right.
Like, I felt like it didn't have the classic like the rise and fall a story is supposed to have, which of course I don't know like the technical like way to say it. Kendall would be kicking my butt right now, but like
the
you
plot
have
and the climax
the
and
climax and then it didn't have that. It was like they had a happy life. He cheats on her. She goes to stay at her dad's. He convinces her to come home. She comes home and it's like not good. And then they break up. And that's the movie. Sorry if you were going to watch it. I just spoiled it for you. But I was like, what was that story?
So the critics came in. It's not good. Critics came in at 45%. Audience came in at 46%. And, usually when you and I see a critics review that's lower, the audience review at least is, in the 60s or 70s. Not so in this case. And to your point, it says the overall critics review on Rotten Tomatoes says, despite an astonishing collection of talent across the board, Heartburn's aimless plot inspires mild indigestion instead of romantic ardor.
But here's the thing, like, I loved so many aspects of it. I loved the aesthetics of it. I loved the costuming. I loved the cast. I loved the dialogue. I loved the music. It was the plot that I didn't, everything else loved. I just didn't like the plot. But then also it's like, if this is just her life story. But what I needed from it, and like, it could have been this, everything the same. What I needed was like closure. I understand, like, you just see her going on the flight. Apparently, you assume she's going back to New York. I just needed to see a resolution of, like, even if she doesn't, like, date anyone ever again, it didn't have to be, like, a love connection, like her finding someone else to love, but just show me her, like, getting her life back together and, like, having happiness again. You know, even if it's just her with, you know, going back to her writing job and, like, loving being a mom and, like, finding peace in her life. That's what I needed to see, because you can't tell me that Nora Ephron didn't eventually find peace after that. Like,
would you like to talk about that?
do you have like things to unpack?
Of course
there?
I do.
Okay, lay it on me.
Yes, of course. All right, sister. So you are not wrong, baby. They say she just gets annihilated by the critics. Of course, Meryl Streep doesn't. They're like, she did an amazing job, and
she did
I mean,
so...
she's just so fabulous.
Of course, she did. Yeah,
that woman. I wouldn't want to have missed that performance. And that, to be honest with you, there's this one scene, you guys, where before she marries, the character's name is Mark. Before she marries Mark, on the day of the wedding, there's like hours where she's like waffling. I don't know if I should do this or not. And that interchange with all the different people coming into the bedroom and talking to her, and, you know, eventually Mark comes in and is laying with her and talking to her. I thought that was beautifully written, and the dialogue was fantastic, I thought.
Yeah, I love the dialogue.
It's got a great supporting cast, too. Stockard
Yeah.
Channing is in it.
Yes.
I
love
Bill
Stockard
Pullman.
Channing.
I think that, I to their point, it does wander aimlessly, is kind of what they said. The plot is aimless.
The robbing, I was like, what was that? You know what I mean?
But I guess all that actually happened.
It had to.
So to find out more about what Nora Ephron was really all about, I watched this, and did you have a chance to watch the documentary?
No,
Her son did a documentary called Everything is Copy. Her son, Jacob Bernstein. And it's a 2016, so it's after she passes away, because Nora Ephron did pass away of a blood disease. I think it was lymphoma or leukemia. Sorry, leukemia. And she never told her friends she was sick. Oh. So it kind of came as a surprise to Rob Reiner and Meg Ryan and Meryl Streep that she was even sick. But I got to tell you guys, in this documentary, some people say some not nice things about Nora.
Oh, no.
That, like Barbara Walters said, she was very funny and very mean, wicked mean, judgmental, cruel, and tough.
Oh, wow. That is not my vibe. So that's disappointing to hear.
They, you know, and people, she would say it about herself, that she was not a nice person. I saw, you know, several interviews in the documentary of her on late night television, and she could be cutting. But Meg Ryan said she had an allegiance to language that was higher than her allegiance to people.
You know, I've met people like that are so talented. It's like they're too smart for their own good. You know what I mean? It's like everyone else is too stupid for them. Like, and not even like they're an evil person. They just literally, it's like hurts them to like talk to stupid people. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. And Nora Ephron said of herself, she was like, writers are cannibals. We will take anybody apart for something to write about. And so she had 2 sons, and the movie Heartburn is based on her marriage to, who did I say?
Bernstein,
Carl Bernstein. And it's interesting. I wanted to get your opinion on this, Elena, because I was like, ooh, that's kind of a good point. When Heartburn came out, her children were still little. And formative years, And so Carl Bernstein was angry about her publishing the book and making the movie. And in the documentary, Jacob is interviewing his father, and his father is saying, I don't think that she should have done that. I thought it was like child abuse that she would let you guys know that you would have this image of me, in other words. And
well, that sounds just like something Jack Nicholson's character would say. It's child abuse that she told you the truth about me cheating on her.
Thank you. That's how I felt.
Come on.
I was
you know what's child abuse is leaving your family and putting yourself first. Sorry. Hot take.
Well said. Well said, Elena. Yes, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, look at poor, pitiful you who put yourself in this situation. The perpetrator playing the victim. Hello, narcissist. Welcome to your story.
Yeah. If he's anything like the character, Jack Nicholson's character, huge narcissist.
So he was going to sue over it and not allow her to publish the book. And then eventually he said, okay, I'll step off of the lawsuit as long as you don't have me come off as a bad father. And so that is why in the movie we see that, Jack Nicholson's character is very engaged with the baby in the movie. Isn't that interesting?
If that was the way it was, though.
I
or
am
if that
too.
was fabricated.
I am too. I'm very curious as to whether or not that's true. So she had been married before she married Bernstein. She was married to Dan Greenberg. He was also an author. And then afterwards, though, is when she met the love of her life. Okay. So she did have a happy ending, sweetie.
Was it her publisher, the guy from
It was not. It was not. I was kind of like, oh, is that what happened?
What was the energy there? Was he gay best
I
friend?
agree.
Or was he in love with her?
I think he was very much in love with her.
Okay. I was thinking he's in love with her, but I was like, maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe this is just gay best friend who's concerned about her,
Oh, yes, I know what you're saying. But no, I think that she was, I think he was, in the movie, I think he was absolutely in love with her. So she married Nicholas, I'm going to butcher this poor person's name. It's probably a silent P, I don't know, Pileggi.
Okay.
And he wrote Goodfellas, Wise Guy. So he was an author as well. And
probably because she could only stand other talented authors.
I could believe that. But they were very much in love.
Okay.
And so they had a beautiful relationship.
Did they have any kids together? Or
they did not.
Okay.
She only had those two. So she did get her happy ending, honey bun. So that's good. All right. So Heartburn, When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle comes along in 1993. And to Elena's point, absolutely fantastic. Right, guys?
So
21 million was the budget. It came in box office 227.8. Critics and audience both 75%.
Wow.
Are you surprised by that number?
And no, I'm not surprised. It's refreshing because so many of our movies are scored so low that it's like, oh, critics actually like this. That's great.
Yes, absolutely. So just a couple of things about Sleepless in Seattle that I had absolutely no idea about. The conception came from someone called Jeff Ark. And that was in 1989. It took until 1993 for the movie to be released because nobody wanted a movie where the main characters didn't meet until the last 3 minutes of the movie.
I never even thought about that until just now.
So nobody wanted to touch it. They were all like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
But like the suspense that it builds.
That is very true. But let me say this. In the original outline of the movie, it was not a comedy. It was like a drama.
I could see it being like that if you took the comedy out of it. It's very intense. I mean, it's a widower and a woman who's engaged to someone she doesn't want to marry. Like that. Mm-hmm. Without the humor, it would be very soapy.
Exactly. And in the first versions, Meg Ryan's character wasn't with someone else. She had just come out of a breakup. And Nora Ephron was actually the one that said, I don't think that's going to fly with somebody that's a widower. We need to see this as being her being a caring person that is actually capable of having a relationship and is in some angst. Mm-hmm. So, but try this on, Lou. What would you think if Kevin Costner had played Sam?
Kevin Costner from The Bodyguard?
Yeah.
I could see it, but I think Tom Hanks was the right fit.
I do too. So she wanted somebody that had comedic chops, and that's how we ended up with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
But
yeah.
The original person, Ark, wanted Kevin Costner. Now, guess who else was up for Meg Ryan's role?
I'm gonna do a crazy guess.
What, baby?
Oh, I was gonna do a wild guess and say
do it.
Whitney.
Do it.
I was gonna say Whitney Houston.
No.
But that would have been amazing.
So,
give me a hint.
Well, think about late 80s or early 90s. Who would have been a hot actress?
Julia.
Yep.
Sandy.
Julia.
Yeah.
Julia, Kim Basinger, Michelle Pfeiffer, Sharon Stone, and Jodie Foster, Demi Moore, and Madonna.
Ew, Madonna couldn't. I love me some Madonna, but that would have been a totally different movie.
Isn't that funny? It's
Yeah.
so interesting. So they went through a lot of different, couple of directors, a couple of different writers before they got to Nora Ephron and said, "Can you do something with this?" Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting?
Would you say that's her most iconic movie, or
Who, honey?
tie between that and Sleepless, or that and When Harry Met Sally?
I would say it's a tie because for your generation, nostalgic, I think you're Sleepless, right?
I feel like it's pretty split. People love both. And people love You've Got Mail, but I feel like You've Got Mail is way too much in the shadow of Sleepless. You know what I mean? It's like they pulled it off and it's good, but it's definitely not Sleepless.
Okay, so would you say that that's the same as a comparison between Pretty Woman and Runaway Bride?
Yes. It is the same ratio where it's like love Runaway Bride, but like you love the characters in Pretty Woman more.
I see that. Oh, absolutely.
And like I feel like both in Runaway Bride and You've Got Mail, it's like they're like worse people. You know what I mean? It's like what they're doing is a little more like morally questionable. Like
being a hooker?
Well, no, I just mean like Runaway Bride, it's like she just blatantly like hurts the guy from Law and Order.
Yeah, you're right.
And then like You've Got Mail, like Tom Hanks is just like just ruining her bookshop. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a little less like, they're a little less likable. I feel
that
like,
is very true.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and pop over to You've Got Mail.
Okay.
See, the great thing about Sleepless and When Harry Met Sally and You've Got Mail is everybody's already seen them, right?
Right.
So we can just give the regular stats. So 98 now is You've Got Mail. It was $65 million budget, which I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Because now you've got your highest paid, right? And it brought in $250.8 million. Critics 70%, audience 73%. And you're looking at a cast. Of course, you got Tom and Meg again because they wanted to reunite them. How did you feel about Parker Posey as his girlfriend?
I didn't have a problem with it. It was weird because I only know her from comedy. So it's weird to see her be so serious, but also like her character is so serious that it is comical. So it kind of works.
True. Very true.
What do you think? And what are your thoughts?
Again, another really cool supporting cast, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got Dabney Coleman I liked the levels of the dad, or Sam, or not Sam, Tom Hanks's character, then the dad, then the grandfather, and they all have kids. Like,
Yeah.
I like that. I thought that was clever.
The kids are so cute in that movie, and he's like, I'm his uncle.
And and that makes you his aunt? No, I'm his
No.
sister. Or, yeah.
I'm his sister. It's so sweet. Those kids are so cute.
It's really cute. The setting of Sleepless, like you were saying, that was done on purpose. The houseboat and all of that. The You've Got Mail, which is loosely based on, what is it, honey? Shop Around the Corner?
Yeah, Little Shop Around the Corner.
Little Shop Around the Corner.
Or Shop Girl? I don't remember if it's
Is it
which
Shop
one
Girl?
it is.
It is very loosely based on that. But of course, that movie is black and white. And this is
Yeah.
in the days of email or whatever. I will say, without a doubt, that movie grew on me and grows on me the more I watch it. The first time I saw it, I was like, nope. Did
But
you
then
have
now
that
they
same
don't-
reaction?
No, because it still was gold to me because they just don't make movies like that anymore. So it's like I'll take any shred I can get, and that's still good copy. It's still a good movie. But
Expand on that, please. That they don't make movies about that like that anymore.
so they don't. Like, literally name the last movie you saw that was the same energy as Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail or even like a Nancy Meyers, like Father of the Bride or Runaway Bride. You know what I mean? Pretty Woman, which is Gary Marshall. But like, or even Princess Diaries. Like, they don't make girly movies anymore. Not just girly movies, but good like rom-coms. And I actually watched a video essay that was saying, who's the guy that did like This Is 40 and like... not Paul Rudd, but what is his name?
Oh, the guy that's married, Judd Apatow?
Judd Apatow. Someone said he was the reason for the death of like rom-coms because he started making this new genre of movies that kind of replaced the rom-com, where it was this like raunchy comedy, like This Is 40 or Knocked Up, or like, you know what I mean? Like, or Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Like, all of those kind of replaced basically anything from like 13 going on 30 and back.
Elena, I just had a mind-blowing thought.
What?
First off, you're 100% right. Mm-hmm. Even to say movies like Just Go With It.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Couples Retreat. Mm-hmm. It has that male element in it.
Yeah.
That's more, it's got to have the raunchy, right? I shouldn't say male, that's not appropriate. But it has that crass side to it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
let me
It's
ask
like
you
Adam
this.
Sandler movies.
Yes.
Grown-ups, like, just...
Yes. So let me ask you a question. Is that the reason why Hallmark movies do so well? Is because we have a gap.
It fills a void. And it does a bad job of filling the void, but it's something.
Right?
And I mean, even like the things that I've really enjoyed recently, like rom-coms, like Always Be My Maybe, or this, I'm totally blanking on the name, but the one that came out just now with Charlie Day and what's her name from Mona Lisa Saperstein from
I have not
Parks and
watched
Rec.
that. Is that good?
It's so good, but it's not the same. It's just like, it has the elements, but it has this modernization to it that just isn't the same as like a Sleepless in Seattle or a 13 Going on 30 or a Princess Diaries.
So you would say that Sleepless or You've Got Mail is one of the last ones in that genre?
I would say it like goes up to like 2005 was like the end of it. And then it started being like, even I would even say like The Ugly Truth or Life as We Know It, like, like, or even The Switch. Like, they're still really good movies, but it's just lost that like sweet element. Like, the sweetness gets taken out of it. And I don't know, maybe some people prefer that. And I still like those movies. I love Couples Retreat. I love Life as We Know It. But like, it's just like movies got an edge. Like, people were sick of like the overly earnest stuff, and everything had to be cynical. Everything had to have an edge.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So then would you put, we're just going to dip our toe into Nancy Meyer. Would you say that that's true about The Holiday?
No, I think The Holiday would fall under the same umbrella as like Sleepless in Seattle.
Okay. That was 2006.
Okay.
And I would agree with you that that's probably the last one that I've seen where there wasn't some extra stuff in there that, in order to pull in an extra, maybe to pull in an extra crowd or whatever.
Right.
So that is so fascinating.
Isn't that crazy?
It's-
I'll try to find that video essay. Greg showed it to me.
That said that about Judd Apatow?
Yeah.
Apatow?
But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they said that on Sleepover Cinema. I'll look into it, and if I can find it, I'll link it in the show notes.
Okay, that is really interesting. So, if you only had to choose between You've Got Mail and Sleepless, you would choose Sleepless. If you know. Now, let's talk about Julie and Julia. So, in between Sleepless and Julie and Julia, Nora Ephron did Mixed Nuts. That was the one I was telling you about with that huge cast, and it just tanked, Lou. I'm telling you, like it was in the 20s on Rotten Tomatoes. Then Michael with John Travolta. Then Hanging Up is after You've Got Mail. And Lucky Numbers, which I have never seen. It's Phoebe.
Oh. Lisa.
Lisa Kudrow and John Travolta again is in that movie. And then in 2005 she does Bewitched. And I saw that. I thought it was awful.
I tried to watch it as an adult. I tried to watch it, I think, in college, and I got like 40 minutes in, and I was like, I'm bored, so I'm going to turn this off.
And I mean,
And I had like such high expectations. It looked so cute. The aesthetics looked so good in the trailer. And then I got into it, and I was like, I'm so bored. I'm not going to keep watching this.
And, you know, I'll watch anything that has Will Ferrell in it. And now part of my problem was that I was raised on that television show. Absolutely loved it. Just like ate it up. And wanted it to be good. And it just was a missed opportunity in my mind.
Yeah.
And then the last movie that she did was Julie and Julia. Did you enjoy that movie? And tell us, it's Meryl Streep and Amy Adams. Tell us what you thought.
I love that movie. It almost has a crossover. It's like the writing is Nora Ephron. The aesthetics remind me a lot of Nancy Meyers. Like, it reminds me of The Kitchen from It's Complicated. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It reminds me of Father the Bride with the warm tones and all the textures and like the copper pots and like the kitchen. So I really appreciate the aesthetics, but I think the writing is really good too. I do think Amy Adams' character is annoying, but I think she's supposed to be. So that's okay.
True.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it's interesting because it's a true story. You know, the main characters. So Meryl Streep plays Julia Child, and of course we know that's a true character. But Julie Powell, the young woman who tries to do the French cooking cookbook in a year, that's true. And she wrote the blog, and she did the recipes and everything just like they show you in the movie. So it is a true story, which I think is really cute. But I do agree with you. Amy Adams is not my favorite actress.
I do love her. This is
Okay.
the one movie where I'm like, not feeling you. But I love Enchanted. Arrival.
Oh, well, now I love Enchanted.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the new one. I need to watch it. But I think she's in Arrival. Greg, that's like one of Greg's favorite movies. And so I think she's a good actress. Her character is just so annoying in this. And her one little, like, debut or whatever, that's not the word I'm looking for, but her little guest star role on The Office is annoying too. Remember when she's selling the purses?
Yes, the purses. So I I agree with you. Maybe it's just this role because I loved her in Enchanted. Here's a critic's, the New York Times, A.O. Scott movie critic. His name's A.O. Scott, and it said, by now Streep has exhausted every superlative that exists, and to suggest that she has outdone herself is only to say that she's done it again. Her performance goes beyond physical imitation, though she has the rounded shoulders and fluting voice down perfectly. I just love that. It's like there's nothing left to say. What can we say about this woman? That gave me
chills.
Right?
That's so well written.
Reviewer Peter Travers from the Rolling Stone said, Streep, at her brilliant, beguiling best, is the spice that does the trick for the yummy Julie and Julia.
So basically, she carries this movie on her shoulders.
Exactly. And it is so worth watching. And I'm going to put a plug in there for a television show. If you guys have not seen the Julia Child television show that is now out, you need to do yourself a favor and watch that show. It is so incredibly well done. It's got oh golly day, I'm gonna get it wrong. The Niles from Frasier.
Oh yeah, what is his name? He's in Down with Love.
Yes. Plays her husband, and it's just delightful. It's a delightful television show. So catch that. I if I was halfway decent, I would tell you what channel it's on.
It's on HBO Max.
It is? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's just called Julia, I think.
Okay. I was looking to see if I could find it. It's, give me just a second. David Hyde Pierce is who I mean. That plays her husband. And it's one of those shows that you'll get chills and you'll find yourself crying for no reason. It's only has one season out so far, but they have picked it up for season 2. And yeah, I think you're right. I think it's on, and it is just called Julia. And it's HBO Max. Yeah, so Nora Ephron did beautiful work a lot of the time. And I think it's unfortunate that with some of the bombs that she had, that's what people focused on. They're like, well, look at Hanging Up, or, Heartburn didn't do so great, even though I think it's a well-written, most of it's well-written, maybe not the ending. But if you look at it, she really did influence our culture, right?
I feel like she really kickstarted at least a renaissance of this genre that lasted for a good 20 years. Because it was like this kickstarted, and then Nancy Meyers, I'm sure, was inspired by her. And then from there, and on top of that, Gary Marshall, and, and then there was a little bit of the sugary sweet in the early 2000s, and then it died off. And so I feel like she really, is a key player in this genre.
So we recommend Nora Ephron. Now, little side note, do we recommend the book Heartburn? I took it from you, didn't I?
You did, so I never finished it, but I enjoyed what I read of it.
It is well written. I mean, again, it's not a woohoo, everybody wins.
I do have a book recommendation.
Let's hear your book recommendation. And then I want to talk to you about what we're doing next. Go, girl.
Yes. So listen, if y'all listen to this episode and you're like, oh my God, yes, Nora Ephron is my queen. Love her. Love all her movies. Let me put you onto a little book series you're going to love. Waiting for Tom Hanks.
Oh, yes.
And then the sequel, Not Like the Movies. You will love it. It is sugary sweet. It is candy. It is dessert. It's just take your mind off things. I want to reread it again just for the heck of it because it's so comforting and so good. So if you are a chick lit girl and you are obsessed with Nora Ephron, you love a little dessert book, you're going to want to go ahead and go on Thrift Books and order that for yourself.
We are
Waiting for Tom
100%
Hanks
about thrift books.
by Carrie Winfrey.
And Elena gave it to me, and I got to tell you guys, I am one of those women that I find immense pride in the fact that I do not do lighthearted romance reading, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Mm-hmm. Yes, I loved it.
So good.
Good choices. What? Let me just ask you real quick, baby, since I never get to see you. Although, you guys, if you don't know about Marco Polo, this app has been such a joy. Elena and I have been able to keep up with each other several times a day by just shooting each other these little quick video things. It's free. You download the app on your phone. It doesn't take up your storage, and you just shoot them back and forth to each other. It's so fun.
It's like Snapchat, but it saves the video, so you can look back on it.
That's really good. So, Elena, let me ask you, though, what are you currently reading?
I am currently reading The Upside of Falling Down. I don't remember the name of the author. It is about a girl who is the lone survivor of a plane crash in Ireland, and she completely starts her life over. She has amnesia, so she doesn't remember who she is, so she just completely starts her life over, and it's super fluffy, and I am loving it. What about you?
I want that after you're finished with it. Well, I got to tell you, girlfriend, I finished the one with the horses. What was that one?
True Colors by Kristen
True Colors. By what, baby?
Kristen Hanna, who
Kristen
is my
Hanna.
favorite author.
So then I was sitting there with nothing, and I was sad. Oh, wait. But I read this other book. Wait, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Ooh, oh, no. Oh, no. We've got all kinds of terrible things happening here. I've dropped my phone.
Are you still recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was given a book by my friend Beth, and it is called We All Want Impossible Things by Catherine Newman. And if you're looking for something that's going to totally wreck you, this will do it. But it's so beautifully written. I will say, trigger warning, if you've been through hospice care with someone you love, it's going to be hard to read.
See, if you can handle that, though, you can handle Firefly Lane.
Okay.
I would say give it a try. If you enjoyed the True Colors, Kristen Hanna, pick it back up and give it a try. Give it another 20 pages and see how you feel.
Oh, okay. All right, I will. But so I'm in dead space right now because I've finished those two books. So my son gave me a very thick collection of Hercule Poirot books from Agatha Christie, and that's what I'm filling my time with. Yes. Elena, we had some thoughts this week of what we want to do next. Tell everybody.
We did. So we hope you guys liked this format because we kind of have some more ideas to continue on this little series of, directors and all their work because there's so many movies we want to cover and there's just so little time. Winnie is crying, so just ignore her. We are thinking, and let us know if there's one you are more excited about than the other. We would like to repeat this episode and do both Nancy Meyers and Gary Marshall, each with their own episode.
Yes. Now, that being said, if there was something from tonight where you're like, you have got to be kidding me, you're not going to do a full episode on Sleepless or When Harry or... We would love to do that if that's what you guys want to hear, and we will do that.
Absolutely.
But we just thought for Valentine's Day, this would be super fun just to do a bunch of them. A bunch of them. Elena, before I leave you, I would like to know what you're going to do for Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh, we actually have plans. We never... And this is because of me. Greg's very romantic. He does like Valentine's Day. I don't care. And so we typically don't do anything. But our building is having a Valentine's Day event. And we are going to go. And
what kind of an event?
It's like trivia, I think. It's Valentine's Day. And there's going to be drinks and food. And they put on good events. If y'all are looking to move to Orlando, Florida. Actually, I'm not going to say where I live. But if you're looking to move there, text me or DM me and I'll tell you where I live because it's a good building.
That is really amazing and I want to come and play.
You should. They literally have events every week. So whenever you come visit, we'll see what's going on.
That is adorable. It's wonderful.
Okay. What about you? Do you guys...
Oh, Elena.
This is Bronx Beat.
Oh, he lined the floor with petals, and he drew me a bath, and then he put me a bubble bath and a bottle of
Gave
champagne.
me a diamond chocolate bracelet.
Really? No.
Oh.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, check out Saturday Night Live Bronx Beat with Maya Rudolph and Amy Poehler. Gotta check.
I'm pretty sure we've plugged that like at least 3 times.
At least 3
already
times
on this show.
Honey Bun, I don't know what we'll be doing. I'm focused on my kindergarten kids, so all I'm thinking about is making sure they get their Valentines in and make a little Valentine's box, a little mailbox, and like all that stuff. Your dad and I, you know how we are. I don't like flowers because they die. It's a waste of money. Cards are like $8 for paper. It drives me nuts.
The Whitman sampler, though.
A little Whitman sampler goes a long way with this girl right here who has 2 thumbs
That'll get
and
you
likes the
places.
caramel. Who likes the caramel? Lou, what's your favorite in a Whitman sampler?
I honestly have not had it enough to like remember all the candies in there, but I am a big caramel girl. I'm a coconut girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love an almond joy.
Oh,
or
you're your
Mounds
father's
bar.
daughter. You really are. Oh, honey, I've enjoyed having time with you. This is what my heart needed.
Me
Get
too.
it? Get it?
Because it's Valentine's Day.
That's what my heart needed. I
good.
love you. I love you, Sunflower. Okay, I will talk to you soon.
Happy Valentine's, guys.
Happy
we love you.
Valentine's.
Girls' night